Hello viewers and welcome to part 30 of the Clueless Cat Does Final Fantasy XIV story playthrough as per requested by Twitch viewers. More bad monotone dialogue incoming now where we left off, dealing the repercussions of post-Xenos Rogers Reach tragedy. Pippin has already departed with the wounded, has he? Good. We have completed our search of the Reach and the surrounding area. As far as we can tell, Xenos and his men returned straightways to Specula Piraeotaurus after quitting this place. 'Twould seem he's lost interest in us. Which brings us to the most troubling question of all. Not how he found us, but why he chose to spare our lives having done so. In war, you kill or capture your enemy. You don't leave him to fight another day. Only a fool would turn his back and walk away, but Xenos is no fool. Whatever his motive, this is neither the time nor the place to think on it. I will leave a token force to watch over the Reach. The rest will fall back to Castrum Oriens. We can discuss our path forward there. Kryl is with Shtola. She still hasn't woken up, but Kryl says she's through the worst. Given the severity of the wound, we could have hoped for no more. Let us pray she makes a full recovery. We lost a lot of good people, didn't we? I saw it happen when the Skull's commander cut down Mefred. A single blow, and that was it. Everything he fought for, all his hopes and dreams for the future, gone in an instant. And do you want to know the worst part? It wasn't a Garlean who did it, it was an Alamegan. Gods help me, if I ever... No, not now. Not while the General's waiting. Oh, Lise.
Were it not for the swift actions of the Scions and the Alliance, many more would have died. You risked your lives to save ours, and for that we thank you.
There is no need for thanks. We are allies, are we not?
Aye, just so. Let us not dwell on this tragedy, but look to the future.
The future? I'm sorry, General, but there is no future for us. We've lost too many. Gods, I can still see Mefred with that woman standing over him. They've ripped the heart out of us, General. They've broken us. Our fight is over.
Master Kemp, please.
I'll always hate them with every fibre of my being. For what they took from us then and now. Our homeland, our freedom, our bloody children.
You mean the Skulls? The youths who fight for Xenos?
Crania Lupi, the Black Wolf's legacy and our shame. A unit made up of children born to Alamegan dignitaries who came of age during the occupation. Sons and daughters of Gia Abania, raised to be proud citizens of the Empire, with all the rights and responsibilities that entails. It'd be easy to curse them and call them traitors, but they're our children. Our flesh and blood. If the only way to forge the future we want is to cut down our own, then...
Then what was it all for?
Nargo?
What will you say to the families of the fallen? To the mothers, and the widows, and the orphans? Will you tell them it was all for nothing?
Listen to the girl. We dare not suffer our comrades' sacrifices to have been in vain. Now is the time to steel our resolve and press on, painful though it may be.
And when Xenos comes back with his army, what then? This isn't the first time, you know. You'll be hard-pressed to find men brave or stupid enough to face him again.
I still can't believe how strong he was. He humiliated us back there. The Warrior of Light included. God help us if he's next in line to the Garlean throne.
Loath though I am to say it, we should not be surprised. Before succeeding Van Baelsar in Alamigo, Xenos led the Imperial army to Doma, where he crushed the rebellion utterly. As a matter of fact, Doma remains in his charge to this day. Suffice it to say, Varys' heir is a peerless warrior and an accomplished general. The question is, how are we to contend with such a foe?
I have a feeling you're about to tell us.
Well, to put it simply, we have one legatus overseeing 2 provinces a world apart. I say we divide and conquer. We kindle the flames of revolution in Doma once more, thereby forcing Xenos to fight a war on 2 fronts.
For that, there would need to be someone left to fight on this front by the time you got back. Look, I'll not deny the plan as promised, and I feel for our brothers and sisters in Doma, truly I do. But I fear we lack the strength to see it through.
Have faith in your people, Master Kemp. Them and the Scions. Hold fast, rebuild, and when all is in place, we shall defeat Xenos together.
Or me on my own.
If you're going to Doma, I'm coming too. I want to help our friends there, and make sure nothing like this ever happens again.
Give us the time we need, and we will give you something far greater.
Very well. For all you have done for us, we will fight on. But be swift, comrades. Alamigo has suffered enough.
It goes without saying, but the Scions alone have not the strength to topple a provincial government here or anywhere else. And I'm quite certain the same can be said of the Doman Liberation Front. Nevertheless, we can but go and assess the situation for ourselves, and see what can be done. Lest you doubt what good we few can accomplish, I would remind you that my grandfather and his 12 disciples once journeyed to these lands to save Eorzea and her people from certain doom. Brave souls with an impossible task, and Eorzea lives on. Our present mission may not be as monumental in scope, but it is no less important to the multitudes whom we would free from imperial oppression, whom we will free. Lies, damn lies, and pirates. Alizé is contemplating the logistics of a journey to the Far East. Where men go as one, there is life, and where there is life, there is cause to hope. Our grandfather believed that, and so do I. But before we can forge ties with our friends in the Far East, we must first find a way to reach them. Authord is not exactly over the river and through the woods. I am one step ahead of you, dear sister, or rather, Tataru is. But before we discuss that, there is another issue I wish to address. Much as I would like it if we could all make the journey together, someone will need to remain to serve as liaison to the Alliance and the Resistance during this critical period. Moreover, as Y'shtola cannot be left unattended. Then I should obviously remain? Very well, issue addressed. You know, Alpha no. It would have been quicker just to ask and markedly less patronizing. Yes, I suppose, would you be willing to look after Y'shtola and provide support to Arenvald and the others? Yes, Alpha no, I would. You see, that wasn't so hard, was it? Enjoy your trip, and don't you dare return with a gift. Oh, I would not dream of it. Right, then, sister, Amber, Lise, gather your things. We are for Limsa Lominsa. Okay. Tatter should be here any moment with our ship's captain. So, we're going by sea after all? Is Melrub lending us our pick of the Crimson Fleet? Not exactly. You are right inasmuch as we will be traveling by sea. Regrettably, it is simply not feasible for an airship to travel such a distance without impossibly large fuel reserves, to say nothing of the inevitability of running afoul of the Empire's aerial defenses. But then it is equally infeasible to sail an Orsian Alliance vessel halfway around the world without the Empire taking notice, which leaves us with only one other option. Ah, speak of the devil. Sorry to keep you waiting. May I present to you Captain Carvelian of the Kraken's Arms. The Kraken's Arms? Don't tell me you made a deal with pirates. Greetings and salutations, Scions. I take it from your comrade's tone that you no longer wish to proceed with our proposed arrangement. Not at all, Captain. Pray forgive my sister her outburst. She has ever been one to speak her mind. I, on the other hand, am the very soul of discretion, as many well-respected personages would attest, from the offices of the Admiral to the high houses of Ishgard. Ah, but where was I? Oh, yes. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn do indeed still wish to employ your services. However, it is important that you are aware of certain extenuating circumstances. And intent on securing passage to the Far East, you came to us, knowing us to be the proud purveyors of said region's finest spices, which you steal from God-fearing merchants out on the high seas. Whatever privateer in the Kraken's Arms may or may not engage in is strictly within the limits of the law, as set forth by our undefatigable keeper of the peace. More to the point, we are pragmatists. I see considerable risk in aiding your cause, and negligible profit. Well, I for one think the captain has a point. The Five Seas can be extremely treacherous, and many a poor unfortunate soul has come to grief out there on the waves. Why, when we were in Ishgard, I heard the tragic tale of how the heir to House Durandare vanished at sea. Even now, nearly 20 years later, the poor count remains convinced that his son still lives on and would pay a sultan's ransom for news of his whereabouts. Ha 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 ha. Truly a tragedy for the ages and a testament to the misfortunes that may befall us should we act without due consideration. But so long as you are prepared to abide the capricious whims of fate, I am willing to oblige you this once. That said, in light of the recent rebellion, I trust you understand that I cannot deliver you to Doma itself. I can take you only as far as Kugani, in Hingashi. We will require time to procure sufficient provisions and make ready for departure. I humbly suggest you do the same. Just gotta speak a pirate's language. Suddenly, all those hours Tataru passed cavorting and capering at the Forgotten Night seem rather better spent, do they not? That said, I had intended to press the point more obliquely, and there was something disconcerting about the pleasure Tataru took in making Captain Carvelian squirm. She's a Lalafell. She wants to take over the world. Tales from the Far East. Alphino is thinking of ways you might pass the time. I say we should heed the captain's advice and attend to our own preparations while they ready the vessel for departure. Tataru and I will procure the necessary supplies. Alice, I should be grateful if you would use the time to brief Oriange on recent developments. You may also wish to review the relevant safety procedures in the event of emergency at sea. How very prudent of you. Very well, I shall go and speak with him. What of Amber and Lise? I would like the two of you to return to Revenant's Toll and speak with our Doman allies. I fear we know little of their homeland, and any information they can provide would be most welcome. When we have completed our respective tasks, we will reconvene here at the ferry docks. Agreed? Sounds like a plan. Let's go, Amber. Well, here we are. We'll need to talk to lots of people, so I think we should split up. I'll ask around at the House of Splendors. You take the Rising Stones, I'll meet you here after. Got it? You are truly planning to travel to Doma? I do not know what to say. Forgive me, I shall aid you to the best of my ability. Ours is a beautiful land, nestled on the eastern coast of Othard. Along the banks of the One River, our nation thrived, proud and free, until the Garleans came 25 years ago. The river was our lifeblood, free to travel and to fish, but as travel was soon restricted, and now the river belongs to none. Higgity! Greetings, Amber. What brings you to the toll this day? What? You are for Doma? Heavens! You signs have shown us naught but kindness, but never in my wildest dreams did I imagine you would fight for our homeland. For 25 years we suffered under their tyranny, and then we spied an opportunity. The Emperor, dead, Garlemald, and chaos. It seemed the time was ripe. Beneath our Lord's banners we gathered and fought to reclaim our nation. But when Xenos arrived with the 12th Legion, it was over in an instant. What is it, my friend? You look as though you have something to ask. That you go on to join Yugiri and Gosetsu in the fight fills me with such joy. Ah, forgive my exuberance. You require information, yes? We of the Nagai clan have served Doma faithfully for generations. My ancestors held positions within Doma Castle, even. Now it is home to the Imperial Viceroy's witch and her host of men in Magitech. To think that what was once the shining symbol of our heritage, and the seat of dear Lord Cain, has become a den for Garlean dogs. Ah, there you are. Learn anything interesting? The older Domans I spoke with tried to teach me all about the Far Eastern customs and the importance of formality and politeness. I'd like to think Eorzeans can be just as stiff and stuffy as anyone, especially as Guardians. But anyway, did you know they eat with sticks? It wasn't all that hard, actually, or at least that's what I thought until they told me I was holding them wrong. And then when I spoke with the younger Domans, they just rolled their eyes and told me it was all a load of stupid old... Wow, what you learn sounds a lot more useful. Unless someone invites us for dinner, of course. I hope they do. Not without incident. Lise thinks it's time you return to Limsa Lominsa. Right, no point waiting around here, is there? We should head back to Limsa Lominsa. Alphino said to meet at the ferry docks, I think? You have returned, Amber. I trust you learned much from our Doman friends in Revenant's Toll? I am eager to hear all, though that can wait until we have left port. We will have enough time to talk on our journey to Kogani. Our spice trading friends have completed their preparations. Assuming you have completed yours, you may inform the deckhand that we are ready to depart. All set, lass? I'll see you to the ship if so. Aboard the Misery. Oh, that's a nice name for a ship.
XII be praised. Full sure was I that I had come too late.
Urianger! Tell me you haven't come all this way just to see us off.
Nay, my lady. Ere you quit these shores for eastern climes, I wished to share some words of seeming import. Look ye where the sun doth rise. See crimson embers, darkening skies. Look ye where the sun doth fall. See azure lost amidst the squall.
Translation?
Well, that sounds suitably foreboding. Another one of your prophecies, I presume?
Of far eastern origin, aye. It is mine earnest hope that this ancient wisdom may serve to guide you on your journey. For what dangers lie in wait for you upon those distant shores are yet beyond my knowing.
A parting gift befitting your roundabout ways. Thank you.
I have more than words for you, my lady.
It's beautiful. Is it for me?
Though undeniably powerful, your ethereal blade taxeth you greatly in the wielding. Not so this rapier, which shall serve you just as well against all but the most formidable foe.
Impressive. It feels as though it's attuned to my ether. I shall treasure it.
Honored guests, say your farewells, for the moment of our parting draws nigh. A fair wind blows, and I mean to follow it.
It would seem our ship is set to sail. Pray give my regards to Thancred and the others. And take care.
A fine day, is it not? Fair winds and following seas. The Misery is enjoying herself. Nevertheless, it would not do for you to spend the entirety of our voyage above deck. Let me show you to your quarters.
Is it supposed to do that?
Not under normal circumstances.
Captain! You're needed on deck! Something queer's afoot. The winds died down, the waters went still, and all of a sudden, we were dragged off course.
Dragged? By what?
Can't rightly say, sir. But some of the lads are muttering about seeing things in the water. Things that shouldn't be there.
Oh, for the love of... If you will excuse me a moment. Actually, might I persuade you to join me? Loath though I am to admit it, I have a bad feeling about this.
Odd. Most odd. Well, do you have any idea what's going on? No, as the man said, despite the absence of wind and current, the misery is somehow being pulled off course. Well, why not fire up the ceruleum engines you have hidden below? An excellent suggestion based on knowledge you should not have. Alas, our engines appear to be malfunctioning for reasons that escape my engineers at present. I'm telling you, Captain, it's them things the lad saw. Things? I don't suppose I could convince you to attempt something more descriptive? An adjective, for example. Seawolf superstitions and fairy tales, not more, but if you must know, the things which he is so reticent to name are the souls of deceased women said to lure sailors to their deaths. Preposterous. Yes, indeed. It is neither the sea nor the weather which is responsible, then it is probably a predatory entity of some sort, perhaps a siren of some sort. For all we know, it could be a fellow spice trader employing magics to seize and plunder passing vessels. Regardless, we have but one recourse, to let the current take us where it will and deal with whatever we find there. What a thoroughly pragmatic suggestion. Oh, I am beginning to like you, girl. Once we arrive at our destination, my crew shall remain with the ship to defend it while we venture forth to deal with the cause of our troubles. Then it is settled. I know not what awaits us, but it will rue the day it reeled us in. For the first 2 sets of ads, you're going to be stuck on the boat. You don't need to blow any major cooldowns on this one. Save it for when the boat docks and you pull the next set up to the boss. Nothing super special to worry about here. So for this boss, you're going to want to stay near it because it's going to randomly turn sometimes and do an applause, which is going to cleave the entire field before them. If the tank keeps the boss in the middle, that means it'll cleave half of the arena. Another thing they do is Hydro Ball. Look for that stack marker and stack up on them. That's to make sure that they don't get one hit by a move that the whole team should soak up. Then they're going to do Sea Swallow All. What this is going to do is going to suck you in, and you have to run away from them as well as avoid the AoEs, and then immediately run back in because they're going to follow it up by another clap. The other one that they can do is this thing called Overflow, which is going to knock you to the edge of the arena, and you're going to want to run back to your teammates as fast as you can because it's going to follow up with a Hydro Ball that you're going to need to stack for. Other than that, that's all of its mechanics. Have fun. The only thing to note with this trash mob pack is that you're going to randomly have these AoEs placed on the ground that have a lingering effect, so just make sure to stay out of them while you're killing everything. One of its attacks will be Shadow Flow. It's going to go to the center of the arena and then split itself down and split the area into pies, kind of. Stay out of the black goop or you're going to get a magic vulnerability up debuff, which cannot be dispelled. And it'll stack the more you stay in it. Next you'll do Blood Burst, which is a arena-wide AoE. Damage to everyone. They will target someone and do Enter Night. This is going to suck them in and create a tether. In order to break that and keep from taking multiple stacks of magic vulnerability, you're going to want to move away from the boss. Our Lullafell, too small, couldn't run away. Then it's going to do Shadow Split. What this does is it still will do the thing where it makes little pies of the area where some of them are safe. But now you also need to look for where his ads go, because the ads are going to create this large AoE that you cannot stand in, or you're going to get the magic vulnerability debuff again. And that's pretty much it. So for this first trash pat, once you pull the hound, it'll open up the cages and more things are going to come out. And if you decide to pull a 2-patter, which is the undead warden here, it will bring out more. If you are a tank, this is where you're going to want to pop all your cooldowns, because no joke, that undead warden, I'm pretty sure it hits harder than some of the bosses. Now these 2 hounds are pretty easy. It's when you pull them to the next mob that you're going to have some issues. That next mob has Dark, which is a spell cast, so it can be interrupted with that. However, it also has this thing called Seductive Scream, which must be interrupted by someone. So tanks, be on the lookout for that, because what this does is it'll charm everyone to come into them, and then it'll do an AoE, which is going to hurt your entire party. And you have to be able to run away from it in time. However, if you interrupt that, then it's not going to do the scream, so you don't have to worry about it. So the main attack that this thing is going to do is going to do Virgin Tears, which is going to put AoE puddles on the ground. This is usually followed by either Morbid Advance or Morbid Retreat. This goes based on the direction you are facing. So try to aim yourself, see if it's advance or retreat, and try to aim yourself to go in between the puddles. In the later on puddles, they're going to make the outer edge of the arena also hurt, so you're going to have to be a little bit more finicky with that even. You will also do this thing called the Somber Melody, which is a party-wide AoE. And lastly, it'll do Void Water 3, which is going to target a random person and do a non-lasting explosion of water in their area.
That appears to be the last of them.
Word from the Misery. Repairs are complete, and we may resume our journey without further delay.
I swear, if I never hear another ghost story, it will be too soon.
I remember the sea, the smell of the salt, and the crash of the waves as we drew closer to Kugane. The only port open to outsiders in Hingashi, across the Ruby Sea from Othard, from Doma. All the colours of the rainbow, all the peoples of the world, all in one place. I wish you could have seen it.
Congratulations, you now stand in Kugani, the western port of Hingashi. Regrettably, the only port in this nation open to foreign trade. Oh, and I do apologize for the unforeseen difficulties which befell us during our journey. Needless to say, your assistance in overcoming them was much appreciated. The man from Ul'dah. Despite traveling halfway around the world, Alphino is in no mood to take in the sights. Glad though I am to have arrived, I would remind you all that we are far from home with limited resources at our disposal. Duly noted, brother. I shall take care not to enjoy myself. In any event, Doma is our final destination, and our first order of business should be to secure passage there. Captain Carvalian, I realize you pledged only to take us as far as Kugani, and I have no desire to change the terms of our agreement. I should, however, be interested to know how you would go about reaching Othard were you in our position. At the risk of stating the obvious, you are in a port. Surely there is a kind and generous soul here who will aid you for the right price. You cannot be the first traveler seeking passage to Doma. The captain makes a good point. 'Tis like that Yugiri and Gosetsu were forced to come here for the self-same reasons we were. They must have found a way to Othard, assuming they are not still in the city. Ere we seek passage, mayhap we should first seek our friends. Leave it to me, Alphino. Making friendly inquiries is my specialty. Lest you forget, I got plenty of practice in Ishgard. Captain Carvalian, would you direct us to the nearest tavern? Desperate for a drink, are we? You may find one in the large building just beyond the pier. Whether your journeys have come to an end or are about to begin, the Shokei's Holstery is an ideal place to rest, relax, and reflect. Or so they say. And with that, my dear scions, I bid you farewell. As soon as we have replenished our supplies, we must away. Ours was ever a fast-moving business. The spice trade, you mean? But of course, surely you did not think I traveled halfway around the world and delivered you to your destination solely out of the kindness of my heart. Perish the thought. Thank you, Captain. May the Navigator watch over and keep you. Right then, to the Holstery? After you.
By the 12. I thought Ishgard remarkable, but this... We are certainly not in Eorzea anymore.
A tavern is a tavern, Alphino, here or anywhere else. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's time to do what I do best.
Oh, 1,000 pardons, my lady. The signs of the 7th dawn, I presume. I hope your voyage was not too trying.
And you are?
Ah, yes, of course. Forgive me. Hancock of the East Aldenard Trading Company, at your service. On behalf of Chairman Lolorito, I bid you welcome to Kugani and invite you to take refreshments at our local offices.
Lolorito? I was aware his interests extended beyond the borders of Eorzea, but not so far as Kugani. Regardless, I am disinclined to accept the hospitality of grinning merchants, especially those who serve a master with whom we have such a difficult relationship.
My, such naked suspicion. I do hope that business with the Crystal Braves did not rob you of all faith in your fellow man. Or do you really think the chairman is plotting to drag you into another one of his grand schemes?
I beg your pardon? If you are trying to win my trust, you are failing quite spectacularly.
Oh dear, have I offended you? Once again, I must apologize. Too much time in the Far East, you see. One is compelled to talk in circles round everything here, and one finds oneself longing for the invigoratingly candid speech of the Uldan markets. Though I see now that this was neither the time nor the place to indulge said longing. Might I suggest that we continue this conversation at the company offices? Too many eyes and ears here, you understand. 'Twould be decidedly reckless to say any more.
If I may favor you with the invigorating candy you apparently crave, it would be decidedly reckless to follow a man I neither know nor trust. Give me one good reason why we should accept Lord Lolorito's invitation.
No other option.
Now there's the young diplomat I was told to expect. Very well then, I shall explain. You understand that you are come to a most reclusive and secretive nation, yes? One whose borders are closed to foreign trade save at this single port. Then it should come as no surprise that a great many parties have vested interests here. Merchants like myself are a given, of course, but for every one of us, you may be certain there is also an agent of a foreign government. Many notable nations and empires have embassies here, you know, including, of course, the Garlean Empire, with whom you have such a difficult relationship.
To paraphrase, Kugani is teeming with Imperial spies, one or several of whom could now be listening to our every word.
Something to that effect, yes. Beneath this veneer of bustling trade, a war for supremacy is being waged between world powers. One might say we were standing on the front lines, just not in public.
I still have my doubts, but he may have a point. I say we accept his invitation for now.
And you must be Amber, slayer of gods, rider of dragons, savior of Ishgard, stealer of pants, if some of the more puzzling rumors are to be believed. I knew it. May I say what an honor and a pleasure it is to make your acquaintance, my lady. I just know you and I are going to get along famously. Now then, without further ado, allow me to escort you to the company offices. This being your first visit to our fair city, I shall make an effort to point out various landmarks along the way, if you would be so good as to follow me. Everyone, if I could have your attention, please. You are now standing in Tonkanto. Loosely translated, the name means Spire of Drifting Souls, which, as some of you may have deduced, may reference to the Aetheryte, which stands over yonder. The design is remarkably different from those of Charlian, yet I trust its function is identical? A diplomat and a scholar will wonders never cease. Far Eastern Aetheryte technology have a long and storied tradition, I assure you. This particular example is constructed by the Onishishu, a collective of skilled craftsmen who guard their ancestral techniques with the utmost secrecy. In short, you will find it no less reliable than its Western counterparts. Attune, if you like. I already have. Hey, so. Where the streets are paved with Koban. Hancock would like very much to continue talking, you don't say. Beautiful though it may be, we cannot spend all day staring at an Aetheryte. Come, come, let us move along. The markets are next. I like the little flower at the top there, that's kind of pretty. We have arrived at the largest shopping district in Kogani, Kogani Dori. Kogani, as you are doubtless unaware, is an ancient Hingan word for gold. So, in this prosperous port where golden fortunes are made, lesser fortunes, or Kogani, are earned by the local merchants. It's all quite logical once you learn the language. Now you're beginning to speak my language. Oh, a kindred spirit. What a pleasure it is to meet a young lady who appreciates the value of hard-won coin. Hancock of the East Aldenod Trading Company, you are with clients today. Why, if it isn't Master Kietan, pray allow me to introduce you to my esteemed guests, but recently come from distant Eorzea. This kind and generous soul supervises all transactions here in Koganidori. Your sincerity is ever appreciated. As he says, I am Kietan of the Hakuchi clan, and it is my honor to serve as overseer of these markets. As we receive many foreign visitors in Kogani, we accept all manner of currencies. Rest assured, your Eorzean Gil are welcome here. I invite you to peruse our wares at your leisure. Already have, thanks, I got crafting gear. Arms, armor, foodstuffs, potables. Here you will find all of them and more. If we may pause here for a moment, I forgot what the zone is called though. This road leads to the Ijinga, the district in which the Ijin, or foreigners, are permitted to reside. Would this also be where the foreign embassies are found, including that of a certain empire? Precisely. So you see, it would not be at all unusual to cross paths with one of our Garlean cousins here. With this in mind, I would encourage you to choose your words carefully. We would not want any physical altercations. After all, such spates are strictly forbidden. The Sekizugumi punish breaches of the peace quite severely. I have seen foreigners permanently exiled for a single violation. Though, to be fair, this is not common. More often than not, they are executed on the spot. What? Cut down then and there? Are you joking? You're joking, right? Would that I were, but alas, these samurai are a humorless lot. Why, I recall one instance when a foreign merchant in his cups dared lay hands upon a Hingan aristocrat in front of a Sekizugumi. The samurai cut him in half with a single stroke. I don't even want to think about that. So, as you see, it would behoove you to behave. Failing that, we may be forced to part ways with one another, or you with yourselves, in the manner of the late Teleji Adeleji. Oh, how I amuse myself, but we must carry on. I have yet to show you the Garlean consulate. He definitely has a morbid sense of humor. This, as you may have surmised, is the consulate of you-know-who. Mark the guards at the gate. Their uniforms not different from those you have seen in the West. Were you to travel in far and wide, you would find that many such variations exist, often inspired by local designs. All of which goes to show that even a massive empire seeking to rule all of creation is not without its artisans. By the grace of Lord Laurito, Hancock seems to be quite pleased with himself. There's so much more I could speak of. The soothing waters of the onsen, the ephemeral delights of the pleasure district, but you are doubtless still weary from your long sea voyage. Let us retire to the company offices. Anyone tell you that you might need a little bit of help there, dude? At long last, we arrive at our destination. May I present to you our humble offices? We have much to discuss, so I'll refrain from further prattle. Come, right this way.
Our thaumaturges took great pains to ward these walls against all manner of surveillance. Where business dealings are concerned, we do not compromise on confidentiality. You may avail yourselves of these offices for the duration of your visit. Come and go as you like, and know that you may speak freely here.
Your offer is most generous, but I will not enter into any agreement which would leave us beholden to you or your master.
A legitimate concern. Allow me to clarify, then. The chairman bids you consider this as an expression of his heartfelt contrition for the bloody banquet and the unpleasantness which followed.
Oh, so he's paying us back.
Never having been one to put stock in words alone, the chairman deems the provision of material aid to be a more appropriate demonstration of his sincerity. By sheer coincidence, your purpose here also happens to coincide with our own interests. That is, assuming you are come to aid the Doman Liberation Front.
How could... I will not bother to offer a denial. You have the right of it. To be specific, we are come in search of our Far Eastern allies, Yugiri and Gosetsu, whom we hope to assist in their fight.
The Aori Shinobi and the Rugadan Samurai? Then you will be pleased to know that they have both come to Kugani.
Are you sure?
Quite. They came here aboard a company vessel, you see. However, they encountered difficulties securing passage across the Ruby Sea.
The Ruby Sea? Sorry, I've never been any good at geography.
Forgive me. This calls for a map. We are here in Kugani, the sole open port of Hingashi, situated on her western coast. Doma, meanwhile, is here on the eastern coast of Otherd in Yansha. Therefore, if your friends are to reach Doma, they must first cross the Ruby Sea. Alas, this is easier said than done, as the Ruby Sea does not fall within the dominion of either Hingashi or Doma, being controlled since antiquity by a third party, namely the Confederacy. Said maritime collective is known for the consummate skill of its sailors, and for demanding that any vessel entering its waters pay a toll referred to as the Ruby Tithe. In exchange, the Confederacy's vast fleet guarantees the safety of those who travel within its territory. Now, as I'm sure you are aware, Garlemald conquered Doma some 25 years past, at which time the Empire saw no value in controlling the Ruby Sea, and thus did they turn a blind eye to the activities of the Confederacy. The recently appointed acting Imperial Viceroy of Doma had other ideas, however. She has formally condemned the Confederacy and declared that any who recognize their authority shall be branded enemies of the Empire.
Not surprised.
Bowing to this pressure, Hingashi severed ties with these toll-takers and forbade the payment of the Ruby Tithe, prompting the Confederacy to make it known that any merchants choosing to sail the Ruby Sea would do so at their peril.
No wonder they struggled to secure passage to Doma. What captain would risk such a journey given the circumstances?
I'm told your friends were not so easily deterred from their course, but I know not whether their persistence bore fruit.
I say we follow in Yugiri and Gosetsu's footsteps and attempt to secure passage to Doma for ourselves. We will need to cross the sea in any case, and we may learn something of their whereabouts in the process. And should we find that they are still in Kugane, we can make the journey together.
In that case, I have some information which may be of use to you. No quid pro quo, I assure you. The chairman was most insistent that I aid you to the best of my ability.
I don't trust people that smile like that. Though I'm reluctant to take action whatsoever that could be construed as placing ourselves in Lord Lolorito's debt, we must avail ourselves of what means are available. Our Alamegan allies place their faith in us, and I do not intend to disappoint them. A good samurai is hard to find. Alphino is a man with a plan. It would seem inefficient for us all to venture out together in search of information on Yugiri and Gosetsu's whereabouts. Agreed? Agreed. We need to cast our net wider, split up and pursue all available avenues of inquiry. But if we're to coordinate our efforts effectively, we'll need to establish a working base of operations here. Indeed, Tadaru would seem best suited to the task of organizing our supplies and procuring new ones. While she attends to that, we four can begin our search by questioning the individuals Hancock identified. Alice and I will take those in the southern districts of the city, and the two of you can take those in the north. In anticipation of such an eventuality, I took the liberty of preparing some few sketches of Yugiri and Gosetsu during our voyage. Actually, you know what? That's not too bad of a drawing. Wow, you still warned me that you were a bit of artist, but these are great. They'll definitely come in handy. Looks like it's you and me, Amber. Let's step outside and talk about where to start. Wow, Alvino's sketches are so, I don't know how to put it, but they're very, well, see for yourself. I've already seen it. It looks more like them than they do. Honestly, he could make a living doing this. Sorry. No time for distractions. Why don't we start by visiting Karaku at the on-something? Onsen? Onsan? Onsen! That was it. Come one, come all, burns, cuts, embarrassing rashes, there is naught that the mystical waters of the Bocasan hot springs cannot heal. Oh, what is that in your hands? I'm looking for these people. You seek this aura and this Roganin, do you? 1,000 apologies, but I cannot help you. It is against our policy to divulge information regarding patrons, past or present. Please, we came all the way from Eorzea to find our friends. We have our reputation to consider, miss. Men and women from all walks of life come here in search of rejuvenation, body and soul. They seek privacy and discretion, and we ever have honored their wishes. Only the Sekizagumi may demand otherwise. I am sorry, but there is aught I can do. I suppose we'll just have to ask someone else then. What about the woman who runs the holstery? Kotokaze, was it? Welcome, traveler. Can I interest you in some rice wine? Exceptional quality, delivered but the other day. I'm looking for these people. Ah, an Aura Shinobi and a Rogadan Samurai. If I may, I would answer your question with some few of mine own. If I speak of that which you know, Ijin, be not offended. You are familiar with the situation in the lands across the Ruby Sea, the doomed rebellion after 2.5 decades of quiet. I see. And you are familiar with the ways of Hingashi, how we elect to stand apart and support no cause but our own? Indifferent and callous, some may call us, but pragmatism is essential if a humble island nation such as ours is to survive. But we are not fools. Complete isolation is impractical. And Sukagani is open to Ijin, and we are equally hospitable to all. Or, if I must speak more plainly, yes, I can help you. But if I do, I must also oblige the ones who ask after you. Are you willing to accept this fair and equitable treatment? Sure, why not? If anyone comes looking for us, tell them whatever you like. As you wish. The 2 individuals of whom you speak did indeed come here. They sought passage across the Ruby Sea. Few ships are willing to make the trip at the moment. Nevertheless, I made several introductions on their behalf. That was the extent of our interaction. I will provide you with the names of the captains if you like. You've been a great help, Mistress Kotokaze. I'll be sure to come back for that wine sometime. We would welcome your custom, miss. We should question these captains as soon as we can. You can take the first 3, I'll take the rest. We'll meet here when we've finished, alright? Good luck! He didn't even wait for me to say anything. Nah. You asked me if I've seen this Aura woman and this Rogadan Samurai? The woman is unknown to me, but the man is not. He was from Doma, but I could not help him. We travel solely between here and Razat Han. It would be an unreasonable detour. Yes, a Rogden gentleman did approach me. He wanted to charter a ship to take him across the Ruby Sea, the mad devil. I sent him away like all others before him. The woman? Nay, I know her not. Passengers? No, we no longer offer that service. Too much trouble. Now we only transport goods. I told this to the samurai and sent him on his way. The woman? Pah! If it is a woman you seek, the pleasure houses have plenty. Not quite the same, there, dude. How did it? Oh, never mind. Judging from the look on your face, you didn't have much better luck than I did. It's probably a trap. Lisa's about ready to give up. Well, I suppose we might as well head back to... Wait, I've just remembered. There was someone on my list I forgot to visit, a Gyodo. He's a Namazu fisherman, whatever that means, and a regular here. Maybe we'll find him if we look around. What? Why do you stare? You have business with me? By the 12, a talking fish. Yes, a talking fish. How very observant of you, Ijin. Ugh. You find me in good spirits, so your rudeness I will ignore this once, but only if you address me again in the proper manner. Sorry, I've never met a... Let's start again. You're Gyoto, right? My name is Lise, and this is Amber. We're looking for some friends of ours. I see. Both these ones I know well. I helped them secure passage across the Ruby Sea. Really? That's wonderful. Could you do the same for us? Yes, this would not be a problem. For you, I could charter a ship this very day. But the journey is fraught with much peril. The fare will not be cheap. Are you sure you can afford to pay? I didn't think to bring any money, but surely Tataru will let us take whatever we need from the Scion's coffers, right? We wouldn't be the only passengers, though. Could we take a moment to talk it over with our friends? Yes, but hurry. Your ship must depart under cover of darkness. We shall meet again at sunset on the Tezagari Bridge. Do not forget your fare. Bring many gil, yes? It's about time our luck changed. Alphen and the others will be thrilled. Are you sure about that? It didn't concern you. He didn't tell us how much to bring, right? Just to bring a lot. We spoke with a number of merchants and captains at the southern piers. Several recognized Gosetsu and confirmed that he had been searching for a vessel to deliver it to Althard. None, however, made any mention of Lady Yugiri. Yes, it was the same story for us, and then you'll never believe what happened. So this Gyoto claims to have aided both Gosetsu and Yugiri? How fortuitous. Not the word I would have chosen, Master Alphino. Stupid's what I'd call it. How can you agree to his price without making any attempt to haggle, or even confirming what it was in the first place? Yes, that too was a misstep on their part. But it is not what troubles me most. Gyoto and his brethren are not renowned for their generosity of spirit. Rather, they are disdained as scheming moneylenders, ever eager to turn a profit from others' misfortune. Everyone else we questioned stated that Gosetsu was alone. Only Gyoto claims to have met both him and Yugiri. I suppose it's just possible that Gosetsu made inquiries by himself, and only called upon Yugiri once he had found a willing captain? But it is equally possible, if not more likely, that you are being deceived. Do not forget that there are parties present in Kugani with agendas which may run contrary to your own. The Viceroy was once a spy herself, as I recall. I should be surprised if she did not have countless agents here in her employ, all eager to prove themselves to their new master. What better way to do so than by delivering her the heads of foreign insurgents? Fine, you may be right about him, but Gyoto's working for the Empire. Who's to say he didn't try the same trick on Yugiri and Gosetsu? I mean, if he did, he might know where they are, and if he succeeded, they might be in trouble. Anyway, if he holds up his end of the bargain, we'll have nothing to worry about, will we? But if he tries to betray us, I vote we take him prisoner and punch him till he tells us the truth. So, if it's a trap, we'll spring it and deal with the consequences. I like the way you think. Very well. We should prepare for the worst. Tadaro will remain here, and I shall follow the three of you at a discreet distance. Once more, I must caution you to avoid physical altercations at all costs. Even should Imperial agents attempt to engage you, the Sekigumi will not hesitate to clap you in irons or cut you down. If anything untoward should happen, you are to return here at once. Is that clear? To review, Lise, Amber, and I will meet with Gyoto as planned. Alphino will keep watch from a distance, ready to provide support in the likely event that Gyoto attempts to betray us to the Imperials or whomever else. Should that happen, you and Lise will subdue him, and together we will make our escape. As our actions will surely draw the attention of the Sekisagumi, we will evade them with Alphino's assistance and return here with our prisoner. Does that meet with everyone's approval? Of course, these precautions will be for naught if Gyoto does not play us for fools, but we shall see. To the bridge! Our would-be ally is nowhere to be seen. Make ready, Amber. Something smells fishy. We'll forgive Alice her pun.
He's late.
Endless and most sincere apologies to you and yours, yes, yes. This way, quickly now.
Enough! Where are you taking us? Where is the ship?
The ship. So very sorry to inform you, yes, yes. Long before was it pledged to another. To me. These ones are for Doma.
I knew it couldn't be this simple.
Nothing personal, yes, yes. Just business.
Then business is about to take a turn for the worse.
Ah!
Come on, let's find a way out of here.
Disappointing, but not surprising in retrospect. We probably should have... Fight, brother. Fight now, talk after. I'll hold on to Gyodo. You deal with the Imperials. As expected, the Sexagome have caught our scent. Since fighting them is out of the question, we'll have to wind our way back to the Ruby Bazaar, evading their patrols as we go. This is where it might take a few times. If they find you, use these smoke bombs to make your escape. Split up and head for the Ruby Bazaar, and remember, under no circumstances are we to engage them. You there, lay down your arms and surrender at once. Damn it, they found us. Use a smoke bomb so we can escape. Nice work. Now let's find a way out of here. Ugh, that was close. Know which way to the Ruby Bazaar? If you get caught by the guards, make sure to use your smoke bomb, but try to watch their patrols and sneak behind them. After you use a smoke bomb, you do have about 5 seconds to run through anything to try and get to a spot where you're not going to get caught. You only have so many smoke bombs and then you fail and you have to do it again. The streets are crawling with Sekizumi. Keep those smoke bombs ready. There is a way, I think I saw one person able to do it without getting caught a single time. However, if you came here looking for that, you're not going to get it. Oh, bugger. They've got a whole squadron out front. What do we do now, Amber? Come with me. I will guide you to your friends. First a talking fish and now a tortoise? Ugh, what have we got to lose? I think the 12 you made it. I fear that our Kojin friend might not find you in time. Everything is going to be alright, trust me.
Stay hidden and quiet. Understood?
Clear the road! Clear the road! You there! Kojin! We seek 4 foreigners. One, a brutish woman carrying an unconscious Namazu. Have you seen them?
For foreigners, you say? Ah, yes! Very rude they were, making no apology as they barged past. They went that way, I think.
Many thanks, good sir. With me, they cannot have gone far.
All is well. The Sekisei Gumi will not return this way for some time, I should think. You are of the East Aldenard Trading Company, yes? Come with me. I know a safer way.
You are returned. And with guests, I see.
Our meeting went about as well as expected. We've brought the Namazu who thought to betray us. When he wakes up, we'll see what he knows about Yugiri and Gazetsu.
Well done, you. When I saw the Sekisei Gumi out in force, I did begin to worry, but I see my fears were misplaced.
Actually, if it weren't for Soroban, we might not have gotten away.
'Twas my pleasure.
Yet I must ask, Soroban, why would you deceive the Sekisei Gumi to help us, foreigners of whom you know naught?
Why, out of the kindness of my heart, is what I would like to say, but my motives are not so pure. I chanced to witness your meeting with Hancock at the tavern and saw an opportunity.
An opportunity?
Like many, I came to Kugane as a trader to make my fortune. Kojin of the Red may serve the Empire as mercenaries, but Kojin of the Blue walk a different path. Regretfully, most here would rather not meet our gaze, much less do business. So I seek the custom of those less predisposed to dismiss us outright, namely the East Aldenard Trading Company.
Quid pro quo, is it? Well, there is no denying that we owe you a debt. What say you, Hancock? Will you consider doing business with our entrepreneurial friend here?
Rest assured, Master Soroban, that in matters of trade the company does not discriminate. We would be honored to hear your proposal.
I promise you will not regret this, good sir. Ah, yes. You sought passage across the Ruby Sea, did you not? I have a ship you can use.
You do? Well then, far be it from us to refuse. You have our deepest thanks.
And you mine.
Not so Teenage Mutant looking Ninja Turtles. I'm still annoyed he tried to deceive us, but at least we were prepared for it. Even so, next time we should probably try to avoid running around Kugani in the middle of the night with half the city guard snapping at our heels. Making the catfish sing. Liz would like to ask Yodo a few questions. Right then, Yodo should be coming around soon. I think it's time we had a little chat, don't you? Rise and shine, little fishy. I know you can hear me, so stop pretending to be asleep or I'll give you another ride on my boot. No more boots. All my secrets are yours, for the asking. Tell us what you know about Yugiri and Gosetsu, every last detail. And if I find out later that you lied to me... No more lies. The clear, unvarnished truth, you have my word. Only the samurai did I meet. Yes, only him. He asked after a ship, so I provided an introduction to the Garleans. You mean you led him into a trap as you did us, because you are an Imperial spy? No, I am no spy. It was just business. Fewer ships pass through Kugani these days, and we have struggled to make ends meet. So when the Garleans offered a bounty for any domans found in Kugani... Oh, my mistake. You're not a spy, but a common cutthroat. Not that I'm surprised. You need half a brain to be a spy. So what happened to the samurai? Such a cruel, vicious tongue you have. He would not go quietly. No. Blades were drawn, men were cut down, and the Sekizugami came. They took the samurai away. Hold on a moment. You mean to tell me the Ijin have arrested the other day was Gosetsu? Oh, had I but known. If he is in custody of the Sekizugami, I need only see to it that the requisite funds find their way into the right official's hands, and your friend will walk free. As it is in Uldaz, so it is in Kugani. But given the circumstances, it seems we have no choice but to resort to morally questionable means. We'll make a pragmatist of you yet, Master Alphino. You are free to wait here while I speak with the relevant official, but if you would rather wait for Gosetsu outside the barracks, we can go together. I wouldn't put it past the Imperials to try something again, so mayhap it would be best if Lise, Amber, and I joined you. Alright, what about Yodo? I will keep an eye on him for the time being. We can release him after you return with Gosetsu. He will doubtless have some choice words to say to the little fellow. Sorabin, mayhap it would be prudent to prepare your ship for our immediate departure. As you wish. Everything in order? Then let us be off. The Sekizugami barracks are to the north. Or, if you heat up the barbecue, we can have catfish for lunch. I must ask that you wait here. You may be assured that this will not take long. Is it really going to be as simple as he says, do you think? He said it wouldn't take long, right? Because this feels a bit long to me. Calm down, Lise. Everything's gonna be alright. Much as I hate to admit it, I share Hancock's dim view of government officials and their supposed incorruptibility. From what I've gleaned of the Far East, they're probably exchanging lengthy pleasantries. There seems to be a correct way to do everything here. Bribery being no exception. I say we leave them to it, right, Amber? Right, everything's fine. Probably, I mean. It couldn't be as bad as the last time we stood around waiting for something to happen.
How about you?
Was that? That was Gazetsu. I'm sure of it. He's in trouble. Lise, wait!
I suppose we should follow her then.
Victory to the samurai!
How many is that now? 10 in a row?
Gazetsu!
Oh! This is a surprise! What in blue blazes are you three doing here?
I could ask you the same thing. We've been looking all over for you, and then I suddenly heard you screaming.
It would seem there has been a misunderstanding. Allow me to explain.
So, in summary, you started a brawl with some off-duty Imperial soldiers and were subsequently arrested by the Sekisugumi, whom you somehow befriended and convinced to set you free if you could defeat a given number of them in single combat.
10 bouts for my freedom, aye. 'Tis but a pity you came too late to witness the last one. And with that, I'm free to go, yes?
Our word once given may not be broken, but we pray you make every effort to avoid future altercations. Circumstances notwithstanding, my lord, we are honored and grateful to have witnessed firsthand the skill of a Doma samurai.
Ah, and we had just concluded negotiations. I gather my assistance was not required.
How can you not hear this man the moment you walk into a city? Gosetsu is so loud. Once more to the Ruby Sea. For a man who has just defeated 10 samurai in a row, Gosetsu is looking rather sheepish. I must apologize that you endured such trials and tribulations in search of me. There's no need for that. You had no way of knowing we would come looking for you. You were after a ship to take you to Doma, yes? It just so happens we have found a willing captain. Truly, what fortune! We will tell you all about it back at the company offices. Alphino and Tata are waiting for us there. As well as a fish. that we're going to fry up for lunch. Gosetsu, thank the 12 you were unharmed. As you can see, Master Alphino, I am the very picture of health. You vile fiend, malevolent trickster. How kind the kami are to grant me vengeance so soon. But first, I demand you return the coin you so villainously embezzled from me. You have every right to be angry, good sir. Gladly would I return to your coin, had I not been forced to repay certain gambling debts beforehand. Setting that matter aside for the moment, where is Lady Yugiri? Was she not traveling with you? For a time, aye, but we parted ways some while ago, the better to improve our chances of finding Lord Hien. Lord Hien? Forgive me, I have yet to explain. Lord Hien is the heir to Doma's throne and our master. He was a passionate voice for the cause of Doman liberation, and when we learned of the Emperor's death, it only grew louder. So you seized upon the opportunity and rose up to reclaim your freedom, only for your hopes to be dashed when Xenos led his army into your lands. The Crown Prince was a merciless foe. Against him and the might of the 12th, we had no chance. Once Lord Hien understood this, he bade Yugiri take to the sea with as many of our people as possible. He, however, would stand and fight, that they might not have more time to escape. I remained by his side as well, and together we carried on our doomed war, and then, one day, in a fierce battle, we were separated. I knew not what became of him, only that he was beyond the Empire's reach, and that to find him I would need Yugiri's aid. The situation grows more perilous by the day, for the new viceroy, Yotsuyu, is a black-hearted villainess who delights in the torment of our people. There is naught she would not do to further her pursuit of Lord Hien. Thank you. I believe that makes matters a good deal clearer. It would please you to learn that we are come to aid the Doman Liberation Front in resuming their efforts to overthrow the Imperial oppressors. Then allow me to join you. My inquiries bore no fruit, hence my desire to return to Othard. Once there, I can lead you to our headquarters in Yanxia, where we shall all be reunited with Yugiri. Mayhap not all. Alphino's talents would seem better applied here in Kugani, working closely with Tataru and Hancock to feed us intelligence. There is a Garlean embassy just down the road, after all. While I appreciate the vote of confidence, I would be glad to accompany you all. As a soldier in the field, so to speak, come now, brother. A competent commander assigns his soldiers the tasks best suited to them. As you of all people should know, and you are so very good at espionage and intrigue. For we all must serve each in our own way. Very well, it would seem my place is here. Sarban is waiting at the pier. Have fun, you lot. I have been waiting for you, my friends. All preparations have been completed, and my ship awaits its passengers. Shall we depart without further delay? After you, my shield friend. If you insist. With me, everyone, the Ruby Sea awaits. Old Age Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I remember the water, how it turned crimson in the morning sun. A shimmering sea of rubies, stretching from horizon to horizon. You could almost believe it went on forever. But beyond that red expanse lay a land in turmoil. On the shores of Othard, our Doman brothers struggled in vain.
How wide and beautiful she is, the Ruby Sea, filled with promise and adventure and treasures, many wonderful treasures. Open water. One does not simply cross the Ruby Sea, as Sorbin well knows. Now, in order to reach the shores of Othard, you will need to cross the resplendent waters you see before you. However, this is easier said than done. To set forth without making the necessary preparations is to invite the Confederacy to claim your vessel, and your life should you resist. But this fate can be avoided by paying the Ruby Tithe, thereby earning you the blessing of the Pirate Lords. So, let us go and greet them. Our destination is the isle to the west. That doesn't look very far to me. Amber, why don't we jump in and swim for it? I've had my fill of boats. An excellent idea. I think you shall find the water to your liking. I will use my ship to deliver those less inclined to the isle. I want the isle, though. I want the ship. I want the ship. I want to take the ship. Lise, I hate you. Fun fact, however, is that once you are in the water, you can sprint. Right, this should be easy, and a good way to loosen up before the next fight, whenever it comes. 20 gil, say I beat you there. Ah, there you are. I trust you enjoyed yourselves? Follow me, my friends. The one with whom we must speak is a man named Tansui. I fear you have the advantage of me. Most honorable and esteemed Amber, I am Tansui, a humble mate who serves the pleasure of the Confederacy's captain. As you are in the company of the Shellback, I presume we have business to discuss. Boys with boats. Tansui's face betrays nothing as he looks you up and down. You wish to pay the ruby tithe? Yes. With your gil, perhaps? It is just as well. Foreign currencies are in demand these days. I would pay for their passage to Othard. Does this sum meet with your satisfaction? The sea has been quite tempestuous of late. I cannot say with confidence that you would reach your destination safely, unless you tripled it. Do you take me for a fool? I know the price, as do all. Alas, we live in interesting times. As you came for Kungani, I should think I need not tell you that. The shadow of war looms. The wise and the cautious shirk our waters and our custom, and the foolhardy sharpen their knives in anticipation. Meaning? Sir, you've got to come quickly. The bastards are at it again. I tried to convince them to stop, but they weren't having it. Very well. I will be there shortly. A proposition. Your comrades strike me as a worthwhile investment. I would not hear men name me a cat before Koban, so I shall consider their tithe paid, not for what they have done, but for what I expect they will do. I'm not sure what to make of that, man, but at least the matter of our tithe is settled. For now. What was that he and the other pirate were talking about? Maybe we ought to go and have a look. Sorry, what was that? Jump off cliffs? Okay.
Gentlemen, I'm told you are most unreceptive to my associate's requests. I realize you do not look kindly on the Confederacy and her ways, but if you refuse to pay the ruby tithe, your safety in these waters cannot be assured.
Spare me your concern, pirate. Your feeble attempts at extortion will not work on us. You remain at large because we allow it. Because you are such insignificant little pests that we see no need to swat you. But if you wish to risk the ire of the Viceroy, by all means fire upon an Imperial vessel. Give us a reason to bring the full might of the Garlean Empire to bear against your pathetic fleet.
Bastards!
Gentlemen, surely the fact that you have such limitless resources at your disposal gives you all the more reason to spare some few coins for the less fortunate.
All talk, just as I thought. Come, let us away. I have no time for this rubbish.
We're all the same to them, aren't we? Savages to be ruled or slaughtered.
They've always balked at paying the ruby tithe, but they were never so eager to pick a fight. The problem, you see, is that many of my comrades in the Confederacy are of Doman descent. And the acting Viceroy, well, she's none too fond of Domans, to say the least. If we take any action to hinder the safe passage of an Imperial vessel, she'll accuse us of attempting to foment rebellion and brand us enemies of the Empire, which we can ill afford to be. Like the man said, we're all talk.
And where did the Kojin stand in all this?
With the winning side, of course. They're mercenaries to a fault, eager to offer their services without coercion. The Shellback could tell you more, though something tells me he would rather not.
I don't understand. If the Garleans are causing the Confederacy this much trouble, and if so many of you are Doman to begin with, why aren't you willing to fight back?
Spoken like a true friend of the Doman Liberation Front. If you're planning to rouse us with noble words and grand promises, don't bother. We all know what the Imperial Army can do. Compared to them, we're boys with boats. Besides, what ties a man may once have held to his home are forsaken upon joining the Confederacy. We look out for none but our own. Be that as it may, our livelihood is under threat, and the captain will need to decide soon whether we're to go down in a blaze of glory, or bow and scrape for crumbs from the Emperor's table. All while our friend the Viceroy continues her purge of Doma's radical elements. I believe she's holding court in one of the fishing villages even as we speak.
That she-devil! Her perfidy knows no bounds! She must be stopped! Come, let us find Soroban and put to sea at once!
Tell the others that these ones have paid. We all have places to be.
What are we waiting for? Come, come, Sorban cannot have gone far. Though, now that I think of it, it is passing strange that he left without warning. Mayhap he did not wish to be seen by his Kojin brethren? I doubt he thought to leave us behind, but nevertheless, it may be prudent to return to his ship. Or at least to the Confederate encampment. Ah, my friends, 1,000 pardons. As you may have guessed, I was reluctant to be seen in your company by my red brothers. Ours is a complex relationship. I pray you do not misinterpret their actions as a reflection of our allegiances as a whole. You understand? Kami be praised. Too often are Shell quick to judge all Kojin for the deeds of one. Right then, now that our business with Tansui is concluded, we can traverse the Ruby Sea without fear. To bend with the wind. Sarban is in high spirits. I shall return to the ship and prepare for our departure. If you have any remaining business to conduct with the pirates here, I pray you do so now. Ah, that reminds me. Amber, would you be so kind as to inform the Confederates of our plans? The more they know of our movements, the less likely we are to be mistaken for another vessel by their comrades. Oh, you're one of the agent from the beach, leaving us already? No need to pay the tithe, as Tansui said. On the other hand, if you were to peruse our wares and find anything to your liking, we should be glad to sell it to you for a fair price. You have spoken with the Confederates up above, then? Excellent. If you are ready to part, we may do so at any time. All aboard. Then let us be off. I shall deliver you to the fishing village of Asari. Wait, Tansui said the Viceroy was holding court in one of the fishing villages, did he not? Should Asari chance to be the village in question, we could instantly find ourselves surrounded by Imperial soldiers. I think it's safer to come ashore some distance away. Very well, I know just the place. Here we are. I am reasonably certain none bore witness to our approach. And with this, I believe I fulfill the terms of our agreement? Aye, that you have. You have my deepest thanks, Saraban. Truly, we are blessed to have befriended such a clever and industrious merchant. Oh, you are much too kind, good sir. I know not where your path may lead, but I wish you the very best and hope that we shall meet again. So we finally arrived in Othard. All we need to do now is, liberate Noma. Yes, that. Look, daunting though it is, we do have one thing in our favor, the element of surprise. Unlike the Garabania, the Imperials don't know we're here. Admittedly, that may be our only advantage, considering how few of us there are. Well, I expect the Doman Liberation Front will even up the odds a bit. But before that, we need to see if this is the fishing village Tansui was talking about. It may well be. I smell ceruleum on the breeze.
Even accounting for the rebellion, such indiscriminate shows of force seem pointlessly excessive.
If only you knew how commonplace such scenes have become. Are we too late?
Over there, someone's coming.
Oh, it's the green jerk.
It is she, sworn enemy of Doma, of my master. The traitor who sold her homeland to the Garleans. Yotsuyu.
The Viceroy herself. And look behind her. Isn't that...
Filth and squalor everywhere I look. How very Doman. What I wouldn't do for a drink. Come now. You've no reason to look so afraid. You have lived through a quarter of a century of Garlean rule, remember? 'Tis better to bend with the wind than stand tall and be broken. Therein lies hope. Therein lies freedom. I come before you today seeking affirmation. A heartfelt declaration. You're free to answer me as you see fit, yet even the least among you should know the correct response. Should. A resident of your village, one of your neighbors, mayhap your friend, was detained by the Kojin this morning. They say he was attempting to flee to Kugane, but we both know that simply isn't true, don't we? Have you anything to say? Bit slow, this one. Is there anyone more sensible among you? Have any of you anything to say? To swear?
My lady, I swear to serve the Empire, to do whatever is asked of me, and never disobey.
Well said, that man. Of course, it wouldn't do to simply take you at your word. Kill him. Surely you can do that much. He must be guilty of something or other, or he wouldn't have attempted to flee the Empire.
I have a family. Kami, forgive me. Kami, forgive me.
Very, very good. I've always had a soft spot for men like you. Next, I want you to shoot those two over there. Too old to work, you understand. A burden on the Empire. We can't have that.
But they're my parents. You can't expect me to...
We can't, not now. As much as I would like to show them no mercy.
She's right. They would simply take the villagers hostage. We must consider the wider picture. If we act recklessly, we risk alerting the Garleans to our presence here, making it that much harder for us to work with the local rebels. To say nothing of the reprisals ordinary civilians would be made to suffer.
Open your eyes, girl. They are already suffering. Let me go. I am putting an end to this madness.
No, Gosetsu.
I will approach the village alone and identify myself. As a former leader of the rebellion and a known fugitive, they will wish to detain me until they are certain they have learned all I know. Use this time to make your plans.
You saw what those monsters did to the villagers. Who knows what they'll do to you, assuming they don't kill you where you stand?
We live and die at the pleasure of the Kami. My fate is in their hands and no others. If it be of any comfort, I am no stranger to chains.
You can't expect us to stand idly by as a comrade goes marching off to his death. And this is nothing like Kugane.
Nor is it like the Reach, Lys, or the Wall. Let him go. Hold out for as long as you can, but remember, noble sacrifices are to remain an absolute last resort. I wish I could say it won't come to that, but only the gods know how we're going to get you and the others out in one piece. A miracle, perchance.
A great tower stands to the north and east. Look to its occupants for aid and succor. Together, you may yet find your miracle. Now, leave this place. I must go.
Oh. Another idiot like all the rest. I'm beginning to think it may be something fundamental. Something intrinsic. Something quintessentially Doman to ignore the simple truth. You can't do a damn thing if you're dead.
Enough, Yotsuyu!
Well now, this is a surprise.
Hear me, Yotsuyu! Cease this farce, here and now, and I shall surrender myself to you. Refuse, and all shall answer to my blade.
Bring him to the tavern.
I hate it as much as you, maybe even more. Every fiber of my being was crying out to intervene, but what's done is done. Gosetsu's gamble has gifted us with the time we need to find a solution. He bade us seek aid at the distant tower, yes? For want of a better idea, I say we do just that, while taking care to avoid the Imperials. We seem to have evaded their patrols so far. What is that tower anyway? I've never seen anything like it. According to my map, we are in Onokoro, and the tower is known as Heaven on High, a mysterious structure built long ago by persons unknown. Oh gods, listen to me. I'm starting to sound like Alphino. Next thing you know, I'll be saying things like, as you are doubtless already aware. Over there, do you see it? Doesn't look like it's been dead long. Whoever did this, they're a good shot. I can't see a single stray arrow. Well, someone's hungry. Wait, that wasn't either of you two, was it? Calm down. We had nothing to do with... Wait, What am I doing? They can't possibly understand us. Probably not, no. Time to run, Lise. We save our strength for any that give chase. You too, Amber. Just imagine if they'd taken us by surprise. What a fine ending that would have been to our story. Anyway, I think safe to assume that the people at the tower know how to defend themselves. You'd have to, sharing an island with these things. All we need to do is convince them to help us. Oh, there's a settlement here, and they even got their own aetheryte. Wait a minute, I've seen that standard before. It was when we met with Tansui. That means this place belongs to... Oh. Confederate consternation. Alice A. seems bemused to find herself standing outside a Confederate settlement. It would seem we have found a Confederate settlement, mayhap even their headquarters, judging by the size of the place. So Gogetsu bade us seek out the Confederacy for aid and succor. The self-same Confederacy that refuses to openly oppose the Empire. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained, I suppose. At the very least, they're unlikely to ask us for the tithe. Now, I see your quest here, but I also see an aetheryte I haven't attuned to yet. What wind brings you hither of all places? Were you not bound for Othard's shores? I see. I trust you have not forgotten our previous conversation on the subject? No? Then what do you want? A second opinion? Very well. Come with me, I will take you to the captain, Rasho. Just like that, an audience with their leader. How very accommodating. We must needs choose our words carefully. You leave it to me. I've always been good with people, and this will also give me a chance to use the Eastern greeting they showed me in Revenant's Toll. Greetings. You must be Rancho, leader of the Confederacy, and so on. I realize this is all a bit sudden, but thing is, we have a little favor to ask. Oh gods, I've probably broken half a dozen rules of Far Eastern etiquette already. Well, I'm sorry about that, but you have to understand that we're in a hurry, so I'm gonna stop talking now. Men who revere manners and tradition can be found the world over, but not here. Your candor is appreciated. Speak your heart. Gosetsu, a former leader of the rebellion. I know of him. Why he bade you petition us for aid and succor, however, I know not. At the risk of repeating myself, to join the Confederacy is to renounce all other ties. We are beholden to none, allied with none. When Doma was invaded by the Empire 25 years ago, we did not rush to her defense. Knowing this, do you honestly expect us to help you drive the Imperial forces out of Azari? The Guardians have long maintained a presence in this region, and we would be fools to break the peace, fragile as it is. Besides, you are capable warriors, yes? With guile and preparation, you can surely resolve this matter yourselves. It is imperative that our presence here remains secret for as long as possible. For us to openly engage the Imperials at this time would endanger everything we have come here to achieve. You have told us why you cannot fight, not why we should fight in your stead. If you would speak to me of lives saved, I would speak to you of slaughter. How many will die when all pretense is lost and the Guardians declare war on the Confederacy? Hate is a luxury we cannot afford. We are free to come and go as you please, but you will receive no further aid. Thank you for your hospitality. If you would excuse us. Hey, Amber. I know that didn't go well, but I'm not prepared to give up on them yet. Gosetsu told us to come here for a reason. He must have believed we could convince him to help us. We just have to work out how. My thoughts exactly. I'm glad to hear we're of the same mind. 'Tis little wonder they refuse. We have done naught to persuade them. The real work begins now. We need to learn more about the Confederacy, what their needs and weaknesses are. Once we know that, we will know how to earn their trust. Take an interest in the ship? Good eye. She's not much to look at now, but once upon a time she was a beauty. The Confederacy favors flotillas of smaller ships to capture and board errant vessels. The larger ones, like the Sekubun, only take part in major engagements. Not that we've had any of those recently. What with those Imperial bastards throwing their weight around. If it wasn't for them, well, no use moaning about what you can't change, huh? Had a good look around? Then we just need to wait for Lise. Sure, that's a wise idea. Sorry to keep you waiting, but I wanted to talk to as many people as I could. It's just as Tanzui said, they have no intention of standing up to Yoetsu. I don't know if you two got a different impression. Under the right circumstances, they might help us. I agree. It's obvious that they are struggling to survive, and that they blame the Imperials for their recent troubles. Even if we do nothing, it is inevitable that they will come into conflict with the Empire sooner or later, and deep down they all know it. The only thing holding them back at the moment is the belief that they lack the strength to survive the coming war. So we need to prove them that we're not all talk, that we can be valuable allies in the fight. And what better way to demonstrate our worth than by seeking out people with mundane problems and offering them our expert assistance. Wouldn't be the first time we've had to earn someone's trust by helping them out with this and that, and you know it won't be the last. I'll look around the western end of Onokoro. You two take the east. Good luck. The solace of the sea. Afumi has no patience for seasick pirates. Kami take me, what kind of pirate cannot suffer the sway of the ocean? A new recruit from far-flung shores? Listen well, I have a task for you. Go first to Okuama below and receive of him medicine for men of the earth. Then to Quickscape Pier in the hapless Doman bemoaning his wretched fate. Quickly. Come at the behest of Afumi for medicine? My very best is yours for the taking. How pitiful the lot of this Doman unable to stomach the sea. The true Confederate would raid a dozen ships while in his cups. Mayhap this one should return whence he came. The arrows of misfortune. Kajika is nodding sagely in your direction. You strike me as a strong, capable individual. I have a job for you, Westerner, if you are courageous as well. On the beach far to the west lies the carcass of Gyuki, feathered with arrows. I would have you go and retrieve those which may still be of use. While you are about it, I should be glad if you were to butcher its tail for meat. Very good meat in Gyuki tails, you know. But I did say you would need to be courageous sort, and I meant it. This beast was young. Do not be surprised if an angry mother mourns its child. The last voyage. Aranami is not a man accustomed to being kept waiting. You there. Hi, you. Have you seen a bumbling clod of an Ora? A new recruit I ordered to patrol the northern edge of Onokoro. He is late in returning. A strange boy he was, quiet and brooding. reluctant to speak unless spoken to first. Better that than a fool who never holds his tongue, perhaps. Much as I would enjoy dragging him back by the ear, I cannot. Duty compels me to remain. You, on the other hand, have no such obligations. Why does it shift and shudder still? Medicines? Get them here. They may look down on me for resorting to such measures, but I would do aught to render the world stable and motionless once more. You are kind, as is Afumi. You may tell her that I will return to my duties as soon as I am able. It says you cast about for the Confederate recruit and at last spy a young Aura man lurking behind the rocks to the west. Who are you? You do not look like a woman of the Confederacy. Forgive me, 'twas but yesterday we bid farewell to one of our own, and I worried that she might have lost her way. We laid her to rest in a boat and pushed her out till the current claimed it. For the sea is our home, now and ever after. But those sent thither in burdened hearts may drift back to shore, it is said. Out of concern for her comrades, she strove to earn far more than her keep. She hunted rare and deadly game in treacherous waters, and lost her life for it. But my vigil is ended. Her vessel has not returned to Onakaru. She has made peace with this life, and placed her faith in us to live on. So, what of my recruit? Did you find him napping on the beach or some such? What? All this time he was standing watch for the funeral vessel? Huh. So rarely does he give voice to his thoughts. I had no idea our comrade's death had affected him so. Too quick was I to judge him. It is good that you went in my stead, else I might have misspoken and made a fool of myself. Please accept this as a token of my gratitude. You've been away for some time, perhaps in search of a young Gyuki corpse? Yeah, I have 3 whole arrows and some tail meat. I see I did not misjudge you. Thank you for your help. Would that I could have tended to my own kill, but such is life. A pity the meat is not as delicious as it is nutritious. Under normal circumstances, we would not bother hunting Gyuki as game, but as you may have heard, these are not normal circumstances. Arrows too must be reused when possible. A prudent measure become necessary, alas. With every passing day our future grows more uncertain. But this day we shall have full bellies, and in that must we take solace. And wayward travelers need not risk the ire of vengeful Gyuki by wandering near my neglected kill. A strange sigh passes your lips. Have I said something odd? No matter. Thank you again for your aid. The Doman was raised in the mountains of his homeland. The first time he saw the sea was after he fled his homeland and came to us. He tosses and turns in his sleep, and when he takes the water, it is not long before he can no longer stand. But he will grow accustomed to this life. He is hardly the first, after all. The captain, too, was once a Doma, though he cast all aside 25 years ago, when the Imperials took his lands and the lives of his parents and brothers. Perhaps you, too, will renounce your ties and join us someday? Aye, I mistook you for a recruit before, but I know your tale now. Tense we unfold it all. Think on my offer, Westerner. You may find small joys in the land, but the sea holds salvation. Alice's stones. Rase is impressed by your industrious nature. You've been busy, haven't you? And now you're here to ask if I need help with anything. Now that you mention it. Lately we've had trouble with ravenous sharks that have been leaping out of the water and making off with our fish. Darndest thing, I know. But you would doubt if you saw it. We've got to cull the thieving bastards regularly. So happens I sent 3 of my mates out there before you came along. Still, the more the merrier. If you can kill 2 or so, that ought to be enough. Take a few of those rotting fish as bait. I'll not be needing them. Oh, and maybe see if you can't find the other group. They've been away longer than I like. knew the other one was on this island. Oh, we have an unhappy Kojin. Hey, buddy. Oh, coming be praised. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't come along. My partners and I got separated when we fled. You haven't seen them, have you? Damn. Before the Kojin started chasing us, the leader asked if we were Doman. They're Yotsuyu's catchers. I know it. First Azari, and now this. I've got to tell Rasho and the others. Ah, there you are, Amber. I heard you went shark hunting? We too did our fair share of beast culling, though I think Lise made a stronger impression when she bested a drunken pirate in a sparring match. Fastest knockout to date, I am told. I should like to think we have proven ourselves to be rather, Why do I get the feeling you have something important to tell me? Kojin mercenaries rounding up Doman Confederates? Surely Otsuyu has crossed the line now. We must go and speak with Rasho immediately. Even he cannot deny this changes everything. At least, I should like to think that he cannot.
Our most compassionate acquaintances return! For your deeds we owe you many thanks. But something tells me our thanks are not sufficient. The strange thing is, I was certain you understood our position. And yet here you are with that same look in your eyes, and those same words upon your lips, I'll wager.
I speak only the truth. The Confederacy will not be spared Yotsuyu's wrath. You have always known this, that one day you would have no choice but to stand up to the Empire. I say to you that day is today, and come once more to ask that you join us in the fight.
How convenient that recent events should lend such credence to your claims. Tell me, do death and destruction always follow in your wake?
They had no part in it, Tansui. You know this. We all know this. They came and took our Doman brothers. They will torture them for her sport. Murder them for her satisfaction. So we attack and get butchered for our trouble, or do naught and let them have their pound of flesh. If this be our choice, I say we suffer the ignominy. We endure. We survive. There is no better path. Until the day our enemy is grown weaker and we stronger, there can be no retribution. We will wait for a sign. Such is the judgment of the Confederacy.
So that's it then. You're just going to abandon them to her. They'd die for you, you know, for the Confederacy. They would die for you, but you wouldn't even think to risk your lives for theirs.
Yep.
I have one last idea, if you will allow. I'm afraid it's not very good as ideas go. It's exceedingly reckless, in fact, and you may well come to despise me for ever having suggested it. Assuming we survive, that is. The question being, do you trust me?
Do you even need to ask? I like being reckless. I jump off cliff sides.
We can't stand by and let innocent people suffer, here or anywhere else. I'll do whatever it takes.
Then let us roll the dice. If it's a sign you want, we shall give you one. One rousing enough to make you drive every Garlean out of Isari without a second thought. You are wary of invoking the ire of the Imperial forces stationed in Doma, correct? Know then that once we have rescued our comrade and freed Isari, we mean to liberate the nation as a whole. You will doubtless require assurances that we are capable of achieving this, and that is only fair. Accordingly, we shall demonstrate our seriousness by depriving the Garleans of a key ally, the Kojin.
What, the three of you, just like that?
Actually, my esteemed colleague here will attend to it on her own. But the how of it is not your concern, only the outcome. If we succeed, you help us liberate Isari. If we fail, you lose nothing. A simple enough wager, if you have the stones for it.
The little miss does make it hard to refuse, does she not?
Words are air. We will weigh you by your deeds.
Smells like a trial. And this is where we're going to leave it off. Thank you for joining me for this installment of my Final Fantasy XIV story playthrough. I hope it was enjoyable. Aside from my poor job at voice acting, feel free to give feedback in the comments below or just to say hi. I may not respond, but I do read all my comments. Feel free to follow the links to my socials below and drop by Twitch to say hello there too. Tap that sub button if you want to see it on YouTube. And as always, thank you for watching. I hope you all take care. Hope to see you guys for the next video. Until then, stay safe and ciao.